Hello there! What is going on, everyone? Today we are going to be repainting our Enterprise D from Star Trek Into the Unknown from the Federation versus Dominion core set. Now, this is a beautiful miniature. You're probably wondering, why would you repaint such a fantastic miniature? And well, the answer is quite simple. I'm not going to be repainting the entire miniature. There is just one little detail that I want to clean up. It is the deflector dish. I'll show you what I want to do, why I want to do it. But first, we'll do want to remind you guys, we are still doing our giveaway for the 12 Days of Life Day that is going to be running all throughout December. If you want to have a chance to enter to win any of 12 giveaways that we're going to be running in December, you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. So just to zoom in a little bit, it is the dish here that we want to talk about, and what is it that we really want to do, or that I really want to do, that I'm going to be talking about in today's video. Well, if you watch Star Trek: The Next Generation, you're going to notice that the Enterprise usually has more of a glow in that in the deflector dish there, and then this one doesn't really have the glow as much. Of course, it's harder to do, you know, to do that accurately without LED lighting. And I wonder if I could potentially do some kind of paint job that would reflect that a little bit. I'm going to talk about some different options and some ways that you can do it. I think there's multiple approaches, and I'm going to show you one that I'm going to do, and hopefully you'll find it helpful. Maybe you guys at home want to try it. I'm going to try and show you an easier way to do it, but we'll talk about some more complex ways as well. So let's zoom in and talk about some of the different ways that we're going to do this. So the first thing I want to do is, of course, separate the saucer section, which does come off beautifully, so we can work with this a little bit more unobstructed. Now, there's a couple of different approaches to doing something like this. Now, the inside of the deflector dish is actually red, but since it's usually always glowing, we usually don't always see it in that color. Now, this piece right in here, there is a central piece. This part right here is a separate piece, and so it may be possible to actually remove this. If you wanted to go in with an X-Acto knife, you could potentially pry that out, and then potentially, you know, one of my thoughts was to take an airbrush and go in there, and this way you could get a little bit of a fade, get like the blue kind of to gradient outward a little bit. If you're going to do that, what I would recommend is to tape off all the rest of the ship so you don't get blue all over the ship. That could be a little bit more of an advanced technique, though, so I'm going to show you guys a brush technique. But the other part is going in there with an X-Acto knife. If it doesn't come out as cleanly or as easily, you very much run the risk of damaging some of the sculpt and damaging part of the ship, and I don't necessarily want to risk doing that right now, so I think I'm going to try a brush method, which will be a little bit easier. So that is kind of the idea. I'm going to be kind of going in there and just trying to do it a little bit slower. It's only one section, right? And I obviously don't have any paint on here, but we're going to try and get some blue glows in there. And ultimately what we want to do is we want to mimic this look right here on that. Now, there's two steps that we're going to do with this. We're not just going to put blue on there, but if you wanted to keep it simple, you could just go with blue. I would recommend something kind of like this Vallejo dark blue, which seems like it's a good match for that color. And I'll thin it out. You can thin it out and layer it and do multiple, you know, light coats and get it sort of like, you know, brighter on one side and darker on the outside, and I have it kind of fade out. But since I want to simulate a glow effect, I'm going to put some white down first. So as I put blue on top of it, it will glow out. So that's how we're going to do this. So I've got a little bit of blue and a little bit of white, and I want to start out with just a little bit of white on the inside, like so, just gently all around. So I'm just gradually trying to pull it out a little bit. I would normally do like a full wet blend, but because this is already a primed and sealed miniature, it's I gotta be a little, I gotta do the paint a little differently. But as you can see, it's starting to kind of spread out a little bit from the middle. I'm getting a little bit of a starburst effect in there. All right, so next we want to thin out our blue a little bit, and I want to come back in and just start adding a little bit of blue to this. Like so. All right, so we've kind of got our blue layer in there, and while there's a little bit of a kind of a glow going in, I think I want to add more than that. So, and we did get a little bit of white on the red in here. We can go back around and fix that up later. That's no problem. So I've added a little extra water to my brush, made it a little nice and wet, and added some white to the blue. So we have a very, very, like 75% white. And we're going to just wet blend this in. And as you can see, we're getting a little bit of that, a little bit more now. It's kind of coming together. All right, so I've kind of gone around and I've done a little extra layering. You can kind of see it's starting to come together. And at this point, I'm gonna just add a little more white and then make sure there's a lot of water on my brush and really just try to blend it together. I really want to come up with like the best kind of gradient I can. You see right there, just really just want the best gradient I can get through all of it. All right, so I think that's a really good place, a really good look for it. We could totally stop there, but I did get a few little things in here, and I think I also want to brighten up that central ring to make it match the rest of the colors. So I'm going to put a little bit of the same kind of lighter blue shade, like maybe one of these mid or high tones, kind of in there before I clean up the red. So mix a little bit of the blue and the white that I'm doing. And they have really nice metallic paints that are in here. But since I do want this ring to match what I have done on the outside. And because it's already recessed, the paint just goes in there nice and easily. So that's perfect. And then we'll get a red and try to color match this a little bit. I'm gonna start with Vallejo Game Color Bloody Red. I don't think it's perfectly right. That might be, it's maybe a little more orange than that, but we'll see. All right, so I've got some of this Bloody Red, and I'm gonna try and put that on there. It is a slightly different shade, so I'll have to do the whole thing, but that's okay. It's gonna clean it up. And I think it'll look crisper when it's done. It's actually a fairly close match. It's not so far off, at least for my eyes. I'm just gonna be really careful up here. Don't want to get any on those frames of the dish that have the gradient already on. And there we go. That is the finished product. We've repainted our deflector dish. We've got a little bit of a gradient in there. And of course, I could have blended it a little bit more, but this is also extremely close up. And I think when we get farther away and you're looking at it from tabletop, I don't think you'll notice it like the specific lines as much. But if you're doing it, you can certainly blend it a little bit more or less, or however you want, or you can make it solid color. Just make it totally blue. If you want, you don't really see the red through the blue as much anymore that was on the frames of the array there. So, but yeah, so there we go. And of course, if you wanted to do more, you could also redo these, the nacelles. You could do that same blue on those. You could put a little bit of yellow or orange kind of like glows on parts of those. There's a lot of extra customization I think you could do. Although I don't want to necessarily take for granted the excellent paint job that's already on this ship. I just wanted to fix that one part, which I don't even really see that much during gameplay, because honestly, most of the time I'm looking at it moving around like this. But that's a nice little touch, and I know it's there. So that's cool. If you liked this video, go ahead and let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And let's compare it to the actual box art now. There we go. We've got the box art. We've got the ship right there. I think we did all right. Now this is obviously, there's shadow on the top of it, and I've got light shining on here, so you're not going to get kind of the same effect. But yeah, no, I'm kind of happy with the way it turned out. Let me know what you guys think, and if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you click that bell for alerts. Check out the links in the video description below. We have a great Discord, as well as social media that is going on for this game. You can jump on our Discord. There's a roll channel for you can talk about all kinds of different tabletop games, Star Trek, Star Wars, even Games Workshop, whatever you want, and jump in there. And I will talk to you guys later. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing and help make this whole channel possible. Thank you so much for your continued support. I will talk to you later. May the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. So say we all. The spice must flow. You can't take the sky from me. And always wash your socks. See ya.